Well, good evening, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your Spider ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Wednesday, the 9th of October, 2024. So as we look at all these markets together, you've got to be asking yourself, interest rates keep climbing. They did it again today in a pretty good way, actually. You've got an economy that's acting strong in the sense that the Dow went to an all-time high, the S&P to an all-time high today. We saw the Fed minutes, they came out, and it certainly appears that the members had turned their attention, when you read it, to a weakening labor market that has turned into a surprise for them. Now, they might get a benefit. You know, Hurricane Milton is now arrived at Florida. It is now just coming ashore. It'll do it tonight, and it'll be there for 12 hours as it crosses the state. It's going to create massive havoc. Will it leave people out of jobs the way that Helene does? Will it impact the overall numbers? Anything can happen with this. This is going to be one of the hardest and biggest storms to hit America in a long time. I don't know. I don't want to say a decade. I don't know. I don't know if it's a century. I don't know what it is until it gets done. But if you're watching the Weather Channel, it is scary. However, we will get to see a series of these numbers together as we get into the report now for the October month. Remember, where Helene hit, not all the damage was showing. You're certainly only at the 9th of October. Milton will show, and I don't know what that does. So I'm just planting that seed for you to think things through, because it's going to be very important. On a positive note, the rebuilding, companies like Lowe's, Home Depot, through the roof, okay? Construction business, probably through the roof. Roofing business, through the roof. I just think of all these things that are going to have to be in place along a whole section of Florida, from maybe coast to coast, to get this all done. If you're a worker in need of a job, if I were you, another week or so, you're in your car, you're headed down for employment. That would be my guess as to how this is going to work out. Amazon up again. Don't know how the Prime Day's doing. It began, and we will see. It's coming to an end now. Netflix, another good bounce in it. You know, it got downgraded the other day. It's coming back. Is this a bounce, or is this for real? That's going to be the question. You sold off from the peak in Home Depot. It did go up to 420. That was quite a move this morning that I was watching. Boeing, well, they're in trouble because what's happening is people are looking at and I'm talking the rating agencies, downgrading their corporate rating. That's not going to be good. It'll cost them more. They're looking at $1 billion a month loss, and they're looking at a union that isn't interested in a 30% pay increase, maybe 35%, but they want benefits back that was taken away from them over the years. And I don't know if Boeing can afford to do it or afford not to do it. Company like AMC, I'm going to repeat over and over, I don't know where the bottom is in something like that, all right? They just keep diluting you no matter what. There are people that keep buying their bonds, their notes. Why? I guess they believe they'll stay in business and be able to pay an outrageous interest rate, but buying the stock, I don't think that's the smartest thing. When we look at the metals, they all got hit. Now in China, the speech yesterday about a planning commission to give you stimulus, when I said it was a flop, it was beyond the flop. It was a disaster. And as a disaster, the markets responded today, and copper, market upon market down. It was so poorly delivered and what it said that China, in a complete turnaround, announced this morning, that Saturday morning, they're doing another one of these, and they're going to give you a stimulus package. If they blow that one, who knows where this goes. They need to get the investing community and the people of China behind them. If they don't, they have a real problem, a spiral like Japan, where things just start getting down, and it can last a very long time. They need to avoid that. They need to spend to get things done. So we will see if they're able to come to that conclusion themselves. As you can see, you've left an island up here. You're breaking down, and when you leave islands, How are you going to go fill these gaps? That becomes a scary question. And I guess we'll find out more as we hear what's said by Saturday. But it's going to be a rough weekend to go home if you're long some of these things. The trend is down. You're in a free fall at this point because of that island. We'll see what goes on. If you fall hard enough, you're going to probably go back into that 32 area. You know, there'll be people that say, what about this area? I know that sounds crazy at 28, but it's a possibility if everything were to come apart. In terms of momentum, you had that. So now, whenever you're like this and you're pulling on a rubber band, think of it like that, and you let go of it, and that's what happened when you wind up right down here. The market shoots off, and then just like everything, it starts doing one of these, wobbling, and it falls back down. And that's what you're in at this point in time. Momentum-wise, you just lost the embedded reading. And when my work loses that reading before you go up for the high, which was just up here, the odds favor that price and the 18-day average will come together. Rivian, again, if you were to lose the bearish embedded reading, I can make an argument. Maybe we can get back up a buck from here. But there's no good story until they work out this problem where they can build motors again for cars, and they don't have they can't do it without this key part. In CrowdStrike, well, we're getting a rally. I would look for another bout of resistance at the upper Bollinger Band to the 100-day average and support at 283.70. It's very overbought. I'm not convinced you're going to attract new money. And watch out in uranium here. It's due for a correction if you lose the embedded reading with the red line getting under 79. You probably come back into this whole zone of 28.18. Now, it's not that it's far away, but it's a pattern that, you know, you're going to fight to stay over the 18-day average if you want to keep bullishness overall in the chart. That's my point. Win? Well, it was up today, and I'm a little surprised because other things are so weak. Can it defy what K-Web is doing and some of the others? I guess it could. They're looking that it's not only China that they're looking at, but Dubai. They've got a pretty good playbook. Pun on words, they got a pretty good playbook going in the Mideast as well. So things are looking good for Win. Toll Brothers, as I told you, these higher interest rates shut businesses off. Now, they have a different clientele. They have a rich clientele. But it's still symptomatic of everything with homes. And I got to tell you, anything they're building in Florida, who knows how much it got delayed by all this. So we got two storms that we're going to be dealing with, and this is, you know, the double whammy now. I think it's difficult to be long home builders right now until we get a better story what's going on with the storm, and we'll have one within 48 hours. You can see how you're hanging there in XHB. The home builders all a little nervous about this. When we get to the financial services, you keep raising rates. Now you're back to the top part of the Bollinger Band. You keep failing as you get up here. But in the past, as you did that, you had a wider difference in the Bollinger Bands. They've narrowed in now, and that changes the game. Could it be a breakout to the upside or not? Certainly not a short sale, but I do think the pros were coming out in longs at that number. Same in XLI. I think that's where they'll take some money off the table. This is embedded. It is still bullish as can be in this market. The energy sector should find support on a pullback to 89.32. The 89.48 is the 200-day average and the 100. So that's what I'm looking for. Momentum is turned down in the market, so I can make a story to get there, barring action that Israel takes, which nobody knows what they're going to do or not do, and that's the wild card. Same in the gold market. It's now fighting lack of Israel doing anything there. It is fighting higher dollar, and it is fighting higher interest rates. That's not enough to carry the day to the upside. And in silver, I can make an argument that you're still going back to 27.32 to 27.19 to finish off this decline. These declines you're getting now in silver and gold are interesting. What the gold's doing now, I thought it would do 2 to 3 weeks ago when I did the gold report. And what silver's doing now is just what I was looking for it to do. So this is very much fitting into the pattern. I predict that we'll look back at the end of the year and they'll both be higher than where they are right now. In the copper market, no. I think it got way ahead of itself. This is all betting on the come that China was going to be phenomenal and do something. So you've dropped 10% in copper prices. in 6-7 days. That's a big break. You've gone from 480 into the 437 level already. Just keep your eye and see what happens. I think Saturday's report's a wild card report. We'll see how the market responds to what's said. This is what I was saying. Look at bonds. Every day you're adding interest rates. That in turn fuels the dollar. That in turn breaks the euro currency. Is it all making sense? It should, because that's exactly what is going on. And you wait to see how they're going to play out. But I do expect to see longs take some money off in the dollar up there and shorts in the euro in this area. You're now down to the 100-day average in the Bollinger Band. Not interested in the bottom. I'm interested in zones for short covering, and you're getting it. Now the question is, at the end of the month, will you or won't you get an additional cut by the European Central Bank? You know, this and a lot more, if you like these studies, they're available to you if you go to iraepstein.com and you'll go to the client resource section on the top of the page. You'll see client resources. Give it a click. Drop-down menu will come in. You'll see the trading view indicators. That's where you sign up for it. And you get the swing line. You're going to get my version of slow stochastics. Outside days up and down will highlight on the chart. You can turn that function off as well, by the way. Window envelopes will appear. All the moving averages that I use will appear, and the Bollinger Band. So the whole suite is there. It takes up what's called 2 pairs. I think you'll find it interesting. If you're a TradingView user, it works in stocks, futures, ETFs, spiders. Go for it. iraepstein.com. And as I said, client resources. Move up here, an icon will appear. It'll take you there if you're on a PC. Take care. I'll see you in the morning.